reminding me. I got so excited, and I literally got so excited that I almost forgot to press the record button. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. I just, sometimes you start to have this moment when you're so in the zone, when you're like, this is not even me. Like, who is operating through me? Who is it? Like, I feel it. I feel that vibration. And as I'm connecting with you guys, as I'm seeing that, I'm feeling that. Like, I'm feeling like my spirit, my soul is connecting with your soul. Like, I feel that connection. It's way beyond, the physical things like Zoom and recording and all of that. It's way beyond all of that. And I can genuinely feel that. Like, because we all are one, we all are really one. This thing that we are separated, we are different, it's a lie, it's a joke. We all are one. And I can feel that oneness. I can feel the source, the God, the universe operating through me. And I can feel us all connected right here, right now. So I feel that love, I feel that oneness. So thank you so much for helping me feel this way. Thank you so much. This is why I do this, right? This is what I live for. And I can genuinely feel our connection, our oneness. So this is so beautiful. Now, what we're going to do is in this masterclass, we are not going to talk about this shift or that, or this is what is needed, or these are the steps. I just want to talk about you. I just want to talk you. So let's talk you, right? It's all about you. It will all be about you. And it's all about knowing you at a whole new level. You getting to know you. Because if you won't get to know you, who would get to know you? Not our neighbors, right? We have to get to know you. Who am I? I have these burning desires. I have spirit flowing and through me. I have divine operations channeling through me, but who am I? Right? So this is where we're going to really deep dive in. And the way I would imagine, and I was literally thinking to bring an onion and like peel off the layers, but then I thought maybe I'll start crying because, with the onion layers, you start to have tears. So I was like, let's not get into that, okay? Let's not make it complicated. So I would love for you to imagine this in a way that I am peeling off your layers, like I'm peeling off one by one by one, and we'll do this together. But I want you to go there with me, like at your deep-seated identity, who you really are, how you really see yourself. Who are you? Like, what is the game? What is this, right? So we will not study any manifestation as such, like manifestation principles or none of that. We will study you today, because when you study you, everything falls into place, because everything right now is available to you. Everything right now is within you. And when we start to peel off, so we will peel you off at 3 levels today. Are you ready? You're like, what is she talking about? She just told me about onions and now she's talking about peeling. We're like, what is she doing? We will have so much fun. Like that's the guarantee. Anything, whatever, but you're going to have so much fun. And I promise you, you will get to know yourself at a whole new level. And the whole frame that we will do this work is through the bottomless bank account. Bottomless bank account. What is bottomless? What is bottomless bank account? Bottomless bank account is a vibration, is a frequency. In quantum, there are all frequencies available: $1 billion, $1 million, multi-million, 100 million. And there is a frequency called the bottomless bank account. So I want to share with you how this thing came into being, bottomless bank account, right? I have been playing with wealth energetics, the frequencies for a while now, right? And I was like, I want to try something different. I want to play a different game. Like, can I just try how it works? And I started to say that, okay, what if I manifest a bottomless bank account? What if I do that? Like, it's just a game. I'm not attached. It's fun. I love this energy. It's fun. Let's have fun. So I created this frequency, and I'm going to share with you the whole how. This whole masterclass is about the how. So if you're saying, tell me the how, this is what we are here for. So when I said, okay, let me create this frequency of bottomless bank account. So when I did this work, which I'm going to share with you every step of the way, you know what started to happen? Every time I would spend money, within 24 hours, I would have a transaction coming in, like in my bank account. 2x. Literally, roughly, I would say like it was always 2x, but not sometimes to the exact number, but always more than 2x, never less. Sometimes it was like massively more, but I started to notice this pattern. What I started to see was every time I made a transaction, when I went to do grocery, when I went out and just bought myself a coffee, there was a transaction followed by that. And I was like, isn't it bottomless bank account? Like, this is crazy. Does it work? Like, oh my God, this is crazy. So for me, this was so much fun and this was crazy because we have talked about manifesting millions, manifesting this, but bottomless, like this was crazy. And then one day I decided to sign up for a year mastermind with somebody, and I had to pay her $8,000 in one go. Like that was my transaction. Like, and I was like, okay, I'm not questioning whether it's going to happen or not because it's $8,000, right? It's like it's $8,000. So yes, for $100, $200, $300, I've done it. $500, I've done it. It's $8,000. And within 24 hours, I attracted the clients who were double that amount, 16K. And I was like, this thing works. So just the day I announced this bottomless masterclass, something so funny happened. So we were out in shopping with my husband. And in UK, we have Marks and Spencer. So he was just buying something for his dad. And all of a sudden, he said to me, he said, it's my birthday coming. And I know you must be searching for the present, but if you want to get me, just get me some shirts and stuff I really like. I said, that's perfect because that means I don't have to look for the things, right? I can just, you just choose and I'll buy it. And I paid for it. And I even forgot about bottomless bank account at that point because I had to take, because he went to the car first and I had to take our four kids under 7 to the car. So the last thing I would think about is money or anything else. I was literally like, guys, don't run, hold my hand. Look, there's a signal, please. And while I was doing all of that, all of a sudden the transaction came and it was literally double that amount. So the whole point of bottomless bank account is it's a consciousness, it's a frequency, right? Where you don't have to worry. I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't even thinking, okay, when it's going to happen, would it happen this time? It just happens. Like it's like money just finds a way to your bank account. And whether you can get energetically behind this right now or not, but let me tell you this, money is desperate to come to you. The moment you match the frequency, it comes like, like if your child is lost and they find you and they're coming running like, oh my God, where were you? That's how money comes into your life. Like this literally I felt. Now, it's not the frequency that I've played with, because the reason I'm using this word play, because I want to make it fun. I don't want to make it like, oh, I have to manifest some money. I have to make sure it happens, because that's not the frequency you want to get in. So we are playing this game. Okay. So the frequency that I've played with money is I have done 10K, 20K, 30K, 40, 50, 60. I've seen my clients doing all these frequencies. I've seen my clients manifesting 16K in one day, 300K savings frequency. I have personally manifested 2x of my corporate salary, which I got in a month in one day. And the reason I'm sharing all of this stuff is not because, oh, look, I'm so cool. I'm not, because I'm literally like you. We just established that we are all one. The only reason I'm showing this to you is because it's possible for you. It's available for you. Abundance is your birthright. There is no question about that. You were born rich, Bob Proctor. And I was watching one of his videos day before yesterday, and he said, you are born rich, but you have been conned, folks. You have been lied to. So we all were conned when we were told that money is hard to earn. That was a joke. Let's not take that joke very seriously. Let's just like get rid of that joke. We were conned when we were told that it's not possible to attract a lot of money. We were conned when we were told you're not good enough. It was a joke. We were conned. So the way he said it, I literally I cracked. I was like, we are conned, folks, and let's just release these lies, because they're literally lie. Any kind of lack, any kind of lack frequency is a lie. There is only abundance. From day one on this planet, there is only abundance. There is unlimited amount of trees, unlimited amount of plants, unlimited amount of humans. Everything is literally unlimited and in so much abundance. We cannot count the grass. We cannot count the flowers. Everything is in true abundance. Lack is a lie that was placed in somebody's mind, and it just came in generations. And from every fiber of my soul. I believe that. And I'm sure after this masterclass, you'll believe that as well. So this whole thing is about the how of bottomless bank account. How did you do that? And when you crack this, you can crack this for any frequency, because everything, literally, like when you understand this, you realize it's a game. It's literally a game. It's a game of numbers. Whatever number you choose is the same game. You play the same game. And a lot of my clients say this to me after they finish the program, and during the program, they're like, isn't it a game? I'm like, yes, it is a game. It's literally a game. So let's play the game. Let's have fun, right? Now, there are two big things what I want to really clarify before I dive into the how. And the how is really you. That's why I'm going to peel off all your layers. You're going to have so much fun. You will get to know yourself at a whole new level with the lens of bottomless bank account. But there are a few things I really want to establish. The first thing I want to establish is happiness. Being happy doesn't mean having more abundance. So we have been lied to by different coaches, by different, whoever has told you this, whoever told me or whoever told you that you have to be happy to manifest abundance. That's a lie. You don't need to be happy. I want you to be happy, but you don't need to be happy to manifest abundance. I have manifested my greatest cash months when I was going through big emotional trauma in my other areas of my life. I've manifested greatest manifestations when I went through rock bottom. So you don't need to be happy to manifest money. If that was the case, all rich people will be happy and all poor people will be sad. That's not the case. We see a lot of like, short-tempered or annoyed people or angry people with a lot of money. So money doesn't care. When you buy things from Amazon, do you care if Jeff Bezos is feeling good today? You don't care. You want that thing right now. You want that thing to be at your doorstep. It's urgent, right? So happiness is not equal to money whatsoever. You are allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to feel angry. You're allowed to have doubts. You're allowed to feel frustrated. You're allowed to have all sorts of human emotions, because you know why? We are human beings and we're supposed to experience all the emotions in this lifetime. So let's give ourselves the freedom. Being sad doesn't mean less money. Okay. So we are free from that perspective. You can be as sad as you want. I don't want you to be sad, but I'm just telling you, you can be sad. Okay. So the second thing I want you to understand is that a lot of people say that I am not working hard enough. I should be doing more. I feel like I'm not doing more. And there is this constant battle. So I struggle with this inner battle. I'm not working hard enough. I need to do more. I feel like I'm missing something for a really long time. Like that was my constant thing, criticizing myself, shaming myself, feeling guilty. But one thing we want to understand is that once we match the identity, once we become a match, even if you don't realize what you're doing, how you're living, whatever, you will on autopilot do the thing that is required. And you will on autopilot, because your subconscious mind is the magnet. It puts you on that frequency. Your subconscious mind controls your body. How you feeling affects your body. If you're feeling really happy, you have different hormones coming out in your body. If you're feeling really angry, there are different hormones. So your body is a terminal of your subconscious mind. It doesn't have a mind of its own. It's influenced by subconscious. And that controls you 98%. Your subconscious mind, your mental program, your identity, whatever word that resonates with you, your identity, your mental program, your subconscious, your self-concept, self-image, whatever resonates with you, it controls you 98%. So when you get up, you're on autopilot. Go to the toilet, brush your teeth, brush your hair, have breakfast, sleep on the same side of the bed, wake up, do the same things. What is it? Drive the car. Do you know how many times you change the gear, or if it's automatic, how many times you turn the steering wheel? You're probably thinking something while you're driving. You're in a different world, like thinking this or playing this music or doing all these things. What is it? Subconscious. Everything is working on autopilot. So once you switch the mental program, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whether you're angry, whether you're doing whatever you're doing, on autopilot, you will just do what is required on autopilot. You right now have your autopilot program is set to something. It is set in your relationship. It is set when it comes to money. It is set in terms of how much weight you carry on your body. That's why weight loss is the greatest example to understand this, because a lot of times people lose weight, and then the moment their autopilot program realize that, okay, it was set to this weight and their weight is low, they start eating the same thing again and the weight comes back. Why is it? Because it's like a temperature. So I use this word a lot, temperature. So when you, let's imagine right now it's summers, but let's imagine it's really cold, it's snowing, it's like it's snowing heavily in your house, like in your, where you are. And all of a sudden somebody opens the door from outside and it's like cold wind coming in and you're feeling cold. You're like, who opened this door? Close the door. I'm cold. And then the moment it happens, the thermostat in your house turns the heating back on and that temperature comes back. So that is the thermostat. That's the temperature in your house that it's set at. Same, you have a temperature for money. You have a temperature for money. That means every single month, there is a temperature, there's an amount of money that you're bringing. So where is that temperature? In your bank account. The number in your bank account is the temperature, is reflecting the temperature that you're attracting every single month. Whether you work hard, whether you work whatever, whether you try and attend the seminar and you get so motivated and you're like, I'm going to change my life, whatever, you haven't changed the temperature. The thermostat will put it back and it will go back to the same temperature. So there was this study done on the salesperson, one of the salesperson, that he was programmed, his temperature was set to 1 million sales every single year. And one year he got really motivated. He attended a seminar. He was like, I'm going to sell more. I'm going to change my sales. And he sold $250,000 in just a weekend. Like on a weekend, he sold that much. And all of a sudden he fell sick. He fell sick. So is being sick in your control? So your autopilot program controls you to the point that your nervous system will play with you. Like you will not even see the opportunity there, or you will get sick, or you will start to procrastinate. Even when we are scrolling on our phone and we are like, I would never scroll on my phone again. Why am I doing that? What is it? It's your autopilot program making sure that you scroll that much so that you don't do what is required to do, so that you don't bypass your temperature. If you're just watching TV and you're like, I need to do this, I'll get up and do this. Yes, I'll get up and do this. In 5 minutes, before you know it, it's 5 hours and you've watched all the episodes. What is that? Autopilot program. It has to make sure that you don't cross the temperature. So you are programmed. And that program is controlling you 98%. So if you are in that pattern like me, if like I used to be, that I'm not working hard enough, I need to work harder, I need to work harder, it doesn't matter. It's like a GPS. You know, when you sit in the car and you write the address, and the GPS is showing you that's where you're going. So that temperature is your GPS, that your subconscious mind is taking where you set it. So even if you say that I'm setting the address back to my home and I'm not getting anywhere, I'm just going in circles, you will still work hard, but you'll go in circles because it's where the address is. You have set the temperature. This is your temperature. So you are programmed to attract certain amount of money. And let's say you're like, no, I will bypass that. You'll manifest an expense. It's like a glass. A glass cannot hold more than the quantity of water. No matter you bring 10 gallons of water, who cares? It won't. It will just drop it. There is a capacity. You have a capacity. You have a capacity to hold money. You have a temperature. So when that study was published of the salesperson, a lot of companies contacted those researchers and were like, we have the same thing with our people. We have the same thing. We can estimate our revenues for 5 years because we know how our employees are going to behave. We can even like estimate, project our business revenues over 10 years. Why is that? Because people behave the same. It's the mental program. Why is it that we just quantum leap a result and within 2 years we have like triple X our income? Why doesn't it happen? Why is it that we are doing the same thing every year over and over again? We create new year resolution and then it's the same thing over and over again. Half a year passed, we're still there. Why? It's a mental program. It's a temperature. It's not your fault. So if you try to have an accountability partner, the moment that partner is gone, your temperature is back. If you try to say, I will do this and I'll do this, that will come back. It's your temperature. That's what you're programmed. Like your digestive system is programmed to digest the food in a certain way, like your heart is programmed to pump the blood around your body. It's programmed. You are programmed. And there is a temperature. There is a temperature for how much you receive. There is a temperature for how much you save. Some people spend everything that they attract, they earn. So at the end of the month, they just had enough. That is a program. If you give those people $10,000 extra, what would they do? They'll spend it. 20,000, they'll spend it. More, they'll spend it. Because it's the temperature. The temperature is I spend everything. There are some people who are always in debt. Those people are always in debt. So one of my friends, like now she's really, really successful, but there was this example of her that she always had 9K debt on her credit card. And she was a 6-figure business owner. 9K debt every single time without exception. 9K, 9K, no matter what, 9K. Always the number was the same. So we have a temperature for debt. It could be 0. It could be some number. We don't know. Everybody has different. Then we have a temperature for investments. And most of us don't have that because we haven't been programmed to invest. And then we have a temperature of how long our money stays. So we have temperature for everything. You even have got temperature for relationship, how you're treated in your relationships. You have a temperature for that. You have a temperature for everything. I call it energetic threshold because that's the threshold that you cannot bypass. Even if you try, it will come back. You'll manifest an expense. You attract more income, you'll manifest an expense. Car will break down, and this will happen, and that will happen. Why? Because you just bypass your temperature. Can't hold more. Who cares how much you want to hold more? Nobody cares. It doesn't work that way. So what we want to understand is, I'm going to the first layer now because I talked about peeling. And I want you to imagine onion, like I'm peeling the first layer. I'm not bringing onion because I don't want to start crying on Zoom. I do that every time when I'm doing something with onion, so I'm not creating a scene. But imagine I'm peeling the first layer. What is your temperature? You don't need to write in the chat. You just need to know in your head. If you're comfortable, you can, but I don't expect you. You just need to think in your head, what is my temperature? What is my temperature for receiving? Let's do receiving. Let's make it simple. There are temperatures for, you have millions of temperatures for millions of things. Let's simplify this. Just for receiving, what is my temperature? If you're like, my temperature sometimes go up and down, that means you're trying to change the temperature, but it doesn't stay. You go back to the old pattern. But if you're like, I have a fixed temperature, I know that, then you know that. That's the first layer. What is your temperature? Let's go to the second layer. The second layer is, how does that temperature show up in your life? So now we are going at the bottom layer. Second layer, I'm peeling the layer. We are just studying you. When we study you, everything changes. Because everything is right where you are. Okay? So when we go at the second temperature, let's look at how is it showing up for you. So if you are a business owner, okay, then how much are you charging for your services? That's where your temperature is reflecting. What kind of clients are you attracting? Are people always telling you, I can't afford your service? And you're like, but so many people out there are charging so much. Why can't you afford my service? Do you always have experience where people are defaulting? Are you struggling to sell? Are you constantly like experiencing this fear around money, fear around sales, fear around your capability to even deliver? So we are going at a second layer now. And I want you to go with me and see where you find yourself there. Are you finding that you say, I will do this, and then you never do this because something happens in your life? Whether it's like the kids or something else happen or you get sick or there is always something going on and you never get around to doing that, right? Or is it that you always tell yourself, I'll follow a routine, I'll be more organized, I'll be more structured, and then God knows what happens, just falls through the cracks? or you really struggle to believe that your service is good enough, or you really struggle to believe that you can attract the people who will pay, or you really struggle to believe that you can charge more prices, or maybe you don't even have a capacity in your business to receive more people. Where are you finding yourself? Because this is where that temperature is showing now. We're going deeper. So you're not even ready to receive. Like if you're saying, oh, I would love to have that much. What if I send 500 new customers your way? Yeah. What if a lot of people default? What if whenever you receive money, you're like, it's just temporary. And you always have this feeling that it's going to go. And then it goes because you have this feeling. Where do you find yourself? Yeah. Keep putting off a course. Yeah. Maybe you scroll too much, or maybe you're like, when I'm in front of Netflix, I just can't get around, like, or I just feel tired all the time. Whatever that is, it's your temperature. It's your temperature. So let's look at those people who are working, right? Who have a job. You are looking at like, you want to get promoted, but you're scared. You want to work on your CV, but you're like, you never get around to doing, like, you're like, it's too long. You look for jobs, you apply, but you never land a job. You're constantly struggling to get the job you like. Your boss is treating you so badly, you can never even imagine getting a promotion. You're constantly doubting if you'll be able to do a better job, or you're constantly doubting if you're good enough for your current job. You're constantly finding flaws, like how you screw up a lot of things. That's your temperature at play. Because at higher level, it's shown in your bank account. If we go deeper and peel the second layer, where is it? It's showing up in your life. It's your temperature. It's set. If you are a product owner and you're like, how do I sell more? I don't understand. I'm not good at selling. Who will buy? I don't know this. I don't know how to find the right avenues to sell. I feel bad. You know, I have this one of my clients who said to me that every time my business revenue increases, I never pay myself. I was like, what? I always pay other people. What? So it shows up in all sorts of ways. Maybe when you start something, you constantly tell yourself, I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to mess it up. And then you mess it up. Or you're like, I'm constantly doubting, and I'm just constantly doubting. I feel like there's so much resistance. Your temperature, whatever that is, wherever you find yourself, whatever you're saying to yourself right now, it's your temperature. Now let's peel the final layer. Are you ready for that? Are you ready? Because that's going to be intense. Are you ready to get to know yourself like, oh my God? Anam, I thought that was the final layer. No, 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 no. No, that wasn't. Okay, I think you're ready. Several of the things that you mentioned. Oh, I love that. I love the fact that you can find yourself. You can resonate with that. I love that. So let's think of this third layer, okay? So when you were born, right? When you were a baby, imagine you were 1 day old. Did you know what money was when you were 1 day old? When you just, I don't know if you're born in hospital or at home, but you're 1 day old in your mom's or hands. Did you know what money was? No, you did. You did. Because you were hearing, your subconscious was hearing everything that was going on. All the conversations, everything was going without any filter in your subconscious. And you couldn't say while you were sleeping that, listen, can we not talk about money in lack? Because there is no lack. You couldn't say that. Everything went directly to your subconscious. It was wide open. Everything was flowing into it. And you were just sleeping there. Poor little baby. Cute baby. And as you were playing around, there were conversations happening about the recession and how money is hard. And do you remember seeing your parents like saving pennies or fighting for money? or like really having that fear around money. Like every time they spend money, they were like, there was this constant like, money's gonna run out. You have to budget. Write everything that you spend. Don't, money doesn't grow on trees. Like, don't do that. Like, do you remember the, as I'm saying that, can you feel it? Can you feel that feeling? That was quite a decade ago, but you can still feel it. Isn't it strange? Isn't it strange? Can you feel when they were like, when they were like constantly talking about it and how it's so hard, and how maybe with some of you guys you saw your parents getting scammed, for some of you guys you saw one of your parents spending all the money and you're struggling at the end, or maybe for some of you, I'm my mother when it comes to money. Interesting. Interesting, right? So maybe for some of you, it's like, I saw like my mother's pinching pennies, like, or I saw my parents constantly fighting for money, like they were always fighting. Or I saw them with money. They had money, but they were spending like they're broke. Or they were like, yeah, oh my God. That was me, Susan. I was being sent away because of lack of fees. So I can so resonate to this. Not even once, every single month. Right? Every single month. I was sent away because of the lack of fees. Or you wanted that toy and your mom had to go at your parents had to go at you, like, what do you think? Are we getting money from the trees? Like, you can't have everything you want. And you wanted to go to that place, or uh, that event, or that, that outing, and they didn't have the money, or you wanted that costume and that shoes, and everybody in your school made fun of you because you didn't have that thing, right? Like, can you still feel it? Generality, making it stop. Yeah, because they were secretive and shattered. What if you didn't see or hear anything? You think you didn't see or hear anything. You did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you say that I didn't see and hear anything, I would say, how do you feel about money? With lack every week, every time mom has to buy something, no money. Yes, yes. I remember my mother not buying her clothes every time when there was a family wedding because she could only afford to buy for me. And I every time saw her sacrificing. I remember seeing her not eating the fruits. And you know the funny part, I'm going to share with you something crazy. So in our house, like now we have so much abundance and we have so much fruits. And you know the funny pattern I found, like every time my husband would buy fruits, the kids will eat, and then they would go like waste. Like, they would have like, when something is in the fridge for a long time, they get destroyed. Like, because I had this thing that I would never eat fruit, because I saw my mom not eating the fruit because we didn't have it enough. So even when our fruit was getting rotten in the fridge, I wouldn't eat fruit. And my husband would have a go at me like, why don't you eat fruit? Like, look, I'm throwing this in the dustbin. Think about those people who can't afford it. Why are you wasting fruit? And I was like, I love fruit. I want to eat fruit. Why don't I eat it? And then it just hit me that I saw my mother every single time not eating fruit, because so that I could eat fruit. So as a child, I ate fruit. But because I saw that, I picked that behavior. And the fruit is there, like it gets rotten. And then now I love fruit and I enjoy fruit once I became aware of that. My money had something to do with almost everything we did. Exactly. Like, money was deciding everything, right? Like, I feel like when we were little, our parents decided everything. And as we grew up, money decided everything, right? But once you have this freedom, you realize, oh my God, it wasn't even about money. Like, money, you have absolute power over money, right? You decide where money goes. Money's waiting for you. Money's like, tell me where I go, and you decide, right? So can you relate to those feelings? Can you relate, like, when I'm saying those things, can you feel it in your body? Now, what I want you to really hear this and understand this, because we have peeled the third layer off, that all the emotions that you were exposed to, even if they were not talked to you directly, if they were around you, like, how did you learn the language that you speak right now, right? You speak English or whatever language you speak as your native language because you heard it growing up. Now, there is somebody who can speak Chinese, right? And we must be like, oh, Chinese is such a difficult language. How can you speak Chinese? Or how can you speak this language? It's so difficult. But the reason that they can speak that language is because they were grown up around it. So it was programmed into them from day one, even when they didn't know what the language was, even when they couldn't talk. So anything that you heard, you got exposed to, that was programmed into you like a language. And what I discovered was that there are two kind of people on this planet, literally two, one who understand the language of money, who speak the language of money, and one who don't. And my mission, my purpose in life is to help people to speak the language of money, because I didn't have that. So I know what it's like. I know what it is. So then I created Wealth Fountain. The whole thing in Wealth Fountain is how you go through every shift, beautifully weave together. When you literally start speaking the language of money, you start understanding the language of money, like you speak money. And when you speak money, you get that language, money flows, because it's literally a language. Like you were programmed to speak a language. Why that language is so easy for you? Because that's programmed into you. So all the feelings that you were exposed to about money, that fear of money running out, that fear around money, that budgeting, all those things, they became your pattern. They became your behavior. They became like you are used to that. That's normal for you. And when you become an adult, so I want you to pay really close attention to what I'm saying, because this is crazy. This is literally crazy. Crazy, but not crazy. When you become an adult, you subconsciously, through that mental program, create the same experience with money, what you were exposed to in your childhood. So if you were exposed to the language around there is lack, money doesn't grow on trees, you have to save every penny, budgeting, fighting for money, feeling ashamed for money, feeling embarrassed, money is hard to earn, money controlling you, you will create subconsciously the same human experience again, like you speak the same language when you grow up. You don't just say, okay, I've learned all my life how to speak English, now I'm going to speak Chinese. No, you speak English. Why? Why do you know English fluently? Why? Because that was programmed into you. There are people who grow up with speaking 4 languages at once. 4 languages at once. Is it harder or easier or what? Is it harder to speak Chinese than English? It's easier to speak English than Chinese. Doesn't matter. Whatever is programmed into you is easy for you. So people who are born into wealth, it's programmed into them. When they were sleeping like that little baby, when they were like cuddled in their mother's arm, they could hear the conversations about abundance, about money being everywhere. So they automatically had this consciousness. But the beautiful part is you can build it. It's not destiny that, okay, it's just given for me. No, you can. What is rags to riches? Rags to riches is rising in consciousness. Rags to riches is we realize, you know what? I'm not my human experience. I'm not my childhood. I write my language. They used to plead poverty and say money didn't grow on trees. Exactly, because he said he couldn't afford to pay me. Exactly. So all these things start to impact your relationship with money, and subconsciously you are addicted. I wouldn't even say addicted, but you're used to that experience with money, and you'll create it in your life over and over again. Whether you work hard or not, that is a GPS right now for your subconscious. That is the address you're going to. That is the temperature you have to hit, because that is normal. I remember one of my friends, like when she broke through to financial freedom, she was like, you know what? All my life I spent worrying about money. And now I'm not worrying about money. What shall I do? Like I don't know what to think about. I don't know how to think. I don't know what to think. What shall I do? I feel like I need to think about money. I need to think about saving. I need to worry about money. So what you are programmed, you're used to, is what has been your experience with money in your childhood. That means if it was just enough, you will create just enough. If it was debt, you will create debt. It doesn't matter what it is. It's all frequencies. It's all numbers. It's not even easier or hard. It's just what's programmed into you. Yeah, have fun. Exactly. Have fun. Don't think about, oh, she's like, something is missing. Like, what should I do now? Exactly. So you are programmed to get to that temperature in your adulthood. That's the program. The key is you can change it. And that's what we want to talk about. So when we talk about the bottomless bank account, I really want to go there with you in the bottomless bank account now, in the bottomless frequency. But now we are going from the awareness of your current frequency, of your current temperature. So you cannot change your frequency, your temperature, your mental program, whatever you want to call it, your autopilot program, until you know what it is. So the first half we spent on really peeling off the layers, right? Now we want to look at the bottomless. Imagine every time you spend money, more money comes in. More money comes in running, 2x. So every time you spend, you're celebrating. You're like, huh, this is fun. I'm just calling in 2x. You don't even care anymore. Like most of them, like, oh, in funny. Like it just came again, came again, came again, came again. It's like so normal for me now that like I know that it's gonna come no matter what. Like after morning is gonna be night, right? We all know that it's inevitable. That's how my consciousness is for bottomless. Why? Because it always does. It always does. Always and always and always and always. But what is bottomless? Bottomless is every time you spend money, you receive double. Now, one thing I really want you to pay attention, this is again really important, that when you're spending money, when you're swiping your card, you're paying that bill online, you're pressing that button, pay online, you are paying at the grocery store, you're paying for that coffee. Maybe you are going out and you forgot to bring your water bottle, and now you're paying for that water bottle, which is like $10, and you're like, why did I have to buy it? So expensive here. Every time you're doing that, every time you're spending money, that very moment when you're spending money, when the money is leaving your bank account or your wallet, whatever, there is a magnet, there is a frequency. There is a frequency that you have at that point. Just when you're spending money, just then. And that frequency declares how the money is going to come back. That frequency declares how the money is going to come back. So when you're spending money, you're like, look, so much money is being wasted. I'm so scared. I'm running out of money. You are reducing your overall temperature, your monthly temperature, but it's also dictating how the money is going to come back, whether more money is going to leave. So if you're feeling like money's running out, I'm feeling this dip in my body, I'm feeling like, oh my God, the grocery bill is so much, I should have not bought so many things, or I shouldn't have bought so many dresses, like I should have kept some, or I shouldn't have bought this. When you're feeling that, more money is gonna leave. Why? Because at that time, your frequency, when I say your frequency, it means your body is vibrating. At that time, your body is vibrating at a lower frequency, lower than your current reality. Because if I talk about facts, like let's really go down to facts, normal facts. The fact is, when you're spending money, you have money. Let's say you're spending $200 electricity bill or $300, $400, whatever it is, okay? You're spending that money. At that time, you have a frequency. And when you're saying, look at this bill, it's so much bill, like they're just ripping us off. Inflation is going through the sky, like what shall I do? At that time, there is a frequency. And the frequency is that it's lower than your current reality because you're using your imagination, your highest faculty, your highest creative intelligence to go on a lower frequency of, I don't have money. Money's running out. Money's running out. Oh my God, I feel so scared. Oh my God. Look at the bill. It's so much. What if money finishes? Money's running out like water is flowing from a bank account. And then more money leaves. Why? Because that's your frequency. Your frequency was money's running out. You create more of money running out. Now, the greatest thing here, what I want you to really note, is that why do we do that? You have money, you pay the bill. Why don't we say, I have money? Why do we go on the lower frequency? Why naturally we are beating ourselves for not bringing our own water bottle or for not bringing a coffee mug, and now we have to go and buy that coffee from that place which is so expensive? Why do we beat ourselves up? Why do we feel this way? Not because we don't have money, because we have money. When you're paying that for them, you have money, right? You have. Factually, in your 3D, you have money. Then why does that happen? Because you're programmed to feel that way. You saw your parents doing that. You saw everybody around you doing that. So that behavior is so autopilot that the moment you swipe your card, you're like, ugh. And then what happens? More money leaves, and more money leaves. Then you feel it more, then more money leaves. Then you feel it more, and more money leaves. Then you feel more money leaves. And then what happens? Then your overall monthly temperature also goes down. And all of a sudden, you're manifesting so many expenses. And you're like, oh, what is wrong with me? Why everything is going wrong? Like, why I'm getting expenses? Because you are programmed to go on the lower frequency the moment you release money. And money is not like candy that if you eat 2, then 3 is left. It's not like that. It responds to your frequency. And I have clients who have literally not changed anything in the beginning. They have just changed this. And all of a sudden, the money stays in their bank account. And it's like month end, they have bought everything, they've done everything, and there's so much money staying without doing anything. Just within a week, just like that. So what is bottomless bank account? Bottomless bank account is when you spend money, you are on a higher frequency and you're feeling so abundant that more money is flowing in. Now, if I say to you that do this, every time you spend money, you just visualize more money is coming in. You know what's going to happen? You'll feel stuck. You'll feel like, I try, but I feel so stuck. Like, do you remember those times when other coaches have asked you, just visualize, just visualize, just visualize you're abundant. Just visualize you're so abundant, you have so much money. Just visualize the feeling. Just visualize money coming in. Why doesn't that happen? Why doesn't that work? I remember I got to that point in my life where I said to myself, if somebody asked me to visualize one more time, I'll throw up. If somebody asked me to feel abundant one more time, I'll throw up because I have given up. It doesn't work for me. Why is that? Because most of the coaches teaches you money as a mindset thing. As a mindset thing, that it's a mindset. It's not a mindset thing. It's a body thing. Because anything that you have at your conscious, then it go in your subconscious, from conscious. When you live with it for so long, it becomes your identity. It's the behavior, the pattern, the belief system is stored in your body. That's why when you get up, without even thinking, you go and brush your teeth because the behavior is recorded in your body now. Okay. What is bottomless bank account, please? So bottomless bank account is anytime you receive money, anytime you spend money, you receive double. That is bottomless bank account. But when you're spending money and your frequency is going down, then you can't receive double because you're right now, your magnet, your vibration is money's running out. But if I would be like other coaches, I would just say to you, just visualize that you have more money coming in. Just visualize you have 2x money coming. Just feel that. And it will happen. And you will go away and you'll be like, no. The more I try to do that, the more I feel lack. The more I try to do that, the more I struggle with my negative thoughts and doubts, and I'm constantly questioning how it's going to happen. The more I feel stuck. So don't ask me to visualize I'm done. You have probably visualized so many times. You've probably done the journaling and meditation, all things. And I'm not saying they don't work. They absolutely work. But first, we have to look at the identity part. Until we peel off these deep-seated identities, you cannot do the mindset part. Mindset is only the first level. And this is why when I started talking about your childhood experience with money, you started feeling it. I saw a comment like, I'm crying because you felt it in your body. You felt that feeling. You're like, yes, because it's now stored in your body. It's no more a mindset issue. It's an identity issue. It's stored in your body now. It's your unconscious memorized behavior. So what we really want to understand is that we want to see what is it in my body, what is stored in my body. And that is where I do this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful meditation. And there are 3 lessons in Wealth Fountain in my breakthrough method where I show you like every part of your body speaks to you and tells you where it's stored. Your throat tells you, your heart tells you, your stomach tells you, your abdomen tells you. Every part of your body is telling you where the blocks are stored, where the feelings are. Everything they start to communicate, because the beauty is Once you are aware, what it is, you can literally peel it off like that if you know the methods. Once you understand, like, it's no more, the time has gone when we're talking about years of therapy, healing, like spending 6 months healing. No. The greatest resource on this planet is time. And the only thing you're really trading is your time, because money is unlimited. But you cannot even pay $1 trillion for one extra minute of your life. Can't even pay, even Jeff Bezos can't buy you one more minute with all his money. Yeah, and my arms ache. Exactly. So your arms will tell you, your body, like every part of your body communicates. So this is not a mindset issue. That's why when the coaches ask you to visualize, and there's like, why are you not visualizing? Why are you not, like, I know this, I've been there. I've been with those kind of coaches. Like, why are you not visualizing? Just visualize, just journal. Because this is not a mindset issue. This is in my body. My body is screaming. Like when you feel drained, your body is pleading for help. I mean, like, oh, let me just visualize. So of course, visualization, like I genuinely believe visualization is your greatest tool. But the identity is a lot deeper. It has gone from conscious to subconscious, and it's now unconscious. We need to peel that off. And I have spent my life, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life really mastering, and I have done it with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, how to really peel and get to know the blocks that are inside your body right now. And I used to hate this word blocks. When somebody said that, I said, do you mean I'm blocked? Like, what do you mean? I'm a blocker? What is it? But what happens is, when you experience something in your life, and you don't process it as a child, or any belief that you carry, or anything that's gone in your body, that's when it's stored there like a bruise. And anytime you go to that part where you're touching that, like you're starting something and you were always been disappointed in your life, or you're doing something which is touching that block, automatically you will unplug. You will start to procrastinate. You will start to do all sorts of things, because that has literally blocked you. The biggest receiving wound that we have is disappointment. Disappointment. When we were little, and we asked, I want to go to that park, I want to go to that theme park, I want to go there, and that never happened. You know how painful was that? When your parents told you, I'll get you this, and they couldn't. And I'm not saying we are blaming our parents, like they did their best, like we love our parents, but when they genuinely couldn't, and how disappointed we feel. You remember that pain? Like, I didn't have that, and I really wanted that, and I really wanted that. I couldn't go to that trip. So it's not shadow work. What I would say, the way I would explain it is that it is about really using the tools and understanding where your blocks are stored in your body, every part of your body. And when you start using those tools, asking those questions, doing those work, there are 5 tools that I use in my breakthrough method. When you start using them, when I did that, I had 92 blocks, 92 things. And at that time, I was visualizing, I was meditating, I was journaling, I was affirming everything. But when you have that, your mind rejects the other thing. Need to say this affirmation. So let's talk about affirmation for 1 second, okay? What is affirmation? Why do we affirm something? We affirm something when we don't have that, or when we are not that, right? You want to manifest money, you affirm because you don't have money, you don't want to manifest money. So when we affirm from the energy that I don't have this and I want to be this, what happens? You're feeling the opposite. Or when you are affirming and your mind is saying no. So when you're saying, I am so rich, and your mind is like, have you seen your bank account yet? So your body is responding all of a sudden the second thought. So how does your body respond? The second thought. So let's say, if I say to you, you are a millionaire, what is the second thought? You're not. I'm not. So that second thought is coming through your body, your identity, who you are. So affirmations sometimes work, but if there is an identity block, it will be rejected. And that's what happens. How do we find blocks and remove them? Okay, so we're going to talk about that. How do we find blocks and remove them? And I'll give you a really powerful exercise towards the end which is one of my tool in the breakthrough method. I have 5. I'll share with you one of the powerful tools. So I will share with you in the end to find those, okay? Now, when we are talking about the bottomless bank account, now I would love for you to go at a second level. So the first level of bottomless bank account is that whenever I spend money, I receive double. That's my consciousness. That's who I am. It's is as solid for me like I'm a mother. I'm a mother. I've got 4 kids. I'm a mother. You can question and say, no, you're not. No, I am. I'm a mother. I have kids. I am a mother. Like it's who I am. I don't need to. Do you affirm? I am this. Do I affirm? I'm a mother. Let me affirm 20 times I'm a mother. Why don't I affirm this? Because I am. Like, why do I need to affirm it? I am. You see the difference? When you are something, you know who you are. Don't need to affirm it. That's what who you are. So I don't need to affirm the things I am already. And when you start to see who you really are, it's like, that's who I am. Like what you're talking about. That's who I am. Identity. That's me. So my identity is whenever I spend money, I receive double. Okay. Now, what is the second level? The second level is, for me, when I'm checking my bank account, I feel incredible. I feel so abundant. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Receiving money, spending money feels like a game. It's like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I feel so excited. Like, I love it. Can you see the gap? Do you see where this deeper identity is? When I am spending money, buying gifts, receiving money, receiving the transaction, it's the greatest experience. So interacting with money is the greatest experience for me. And I have one more identity, that I can have any problem in my life, but money will always be there. Always and always and always and always and always. It's something I'll always have, no matter what. This is wealth consciousness. It will always be there. Now, you can affirm all those things as well, and your mind will reject. So let's go to the third peel. So the third layer is where everything is. Because when I talked about your third layer, you were like, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. That's where everything is. And that's where most of the coaches don't even go. They're like, just affirm it, just visualize. It's not a mindset issue. Because when you know who you are, look, when we are told that match the frequency, like feel abundance, feel that you have a lot of money, feel like you're a millionaire, right? You can feel it in your meditation, right? You can meditate, you can stop all the thoughts, or you can try, right? Or you're journaling. But life doesn't start on meditation mat. Life starts afterwards when you get on with your life. So how can you have that frequency all day long? Because your magnet is always on. So based on how your body is vibrating, because our body is vibrating all the time. Look, when you're saying act as if we have it, right? I feel that's who you really are. You don't need to act it. When do we act? When we are not and I'm acting. So am I faking to the universe? Universe doesn't understand. Who am I faking it to? Universe understand your deepest vibrations. So I genuinely believe that we are acting now because we don't know who we are. Because we were told a bunch of lies when we were little and we couldn't question them. So we have been conned. We have been conned, folks. I love this when Bob Proctor said, we have been conned, folks. We were told a bunch of lies about ourselves, about money. And when you uncover your truth, this is who you are. What are you acting as? This is who you are. I don't need to act like a mother. I am a mother. And the reason I'm using mother example is because this is who I am. I can use woman. I can use anything else. But the reason I'm using this example because it's very connected to identity. Whatever your identity is, you don't need to act like that. This is who you are. So once you have the consciousness, awareness of who you are, you have a match. You don't need to act. You don't need to affirm. You don't need to pretend. That's who you are. That's the knowing. Knowing beats affirmation every single time. Because I can affirm right now I'm a monkey 100 times. Would you believe that? What if I do it 1,000 times? What if I do 2 million times? No, I can see you don't look like a monkey. You're not. Right? Why? If affirmations work, you should believe that. A lot of people say, you know what, is the 3D, my physical reality that gets in the way? It's not, and it's just my physical reality is so different. But when you look in the sky, wherever you are, maybe it's nighttime, where is morning, whatever it is for you, do you know it's going to be morning the next day or night after the morning? You cannot see that. You cannot see the proof. Why do you know? Because you know the truth. That's the truth. That's how it works. So once you know who you really are, you don't need to act as if, you don't need to affirm, you don't need to do anything. Knowing beats every single thing. So I know who I am. I don't need to remind myself or fake it. In fact, if I don't know who I am, I'm faking it then. So when we are peeling off these layers, we are saying, what is my truth? Who am I? Who am I? You are a match for bottomless bank account right now? Hell yes. You are a match for millions? Hell yes. You know what the problem is? You don't see that. Right? You don't see that. That is the problem. So you don't need to change anything about you. You don't need to fake anything about you. Just need to change the way you see you. And you don't need to do years of therapy. You don't need to do years of healing, like years of healing or all those things. You don't need any of that. What if we peel it off instantly? What if we peel it off like that? And what if we just take on the true identity, who you really are, just like that? Because at the end of the day, it's about time. Like, let's make it happen fast. The only thing we're really trading is time. We are trading our life for our goals. We are trading our life for our goals every single day. So do we want to trade for something we want or something we don't want? Right? Yes. So how do we peel instantly? So first of all, in order to peel something, you need to know what it is. Right? So, Angie, what did you say? I didn't see that. Okay, I'm saying something. We caught up with limiting beliefs. When we realize it's limiting beliefs and begin to tell ourselves we're a millionaire, that's not okay. Okay, so first of all, we need to, Angie, replying to your question, and Linda, first understanding what is my current identity, because that is controlling you 98%. So if you are like, when I was starting my coaching business, one of my identity was that I am a mom and I haven't got any business experience and I don't know how to run a business and I cannot be good at it because everybody in my family has always worked for other people. And I tried 8 strategies to run a successful business and every single one of them fell flat. Why? Because my GPS was set to, I'm trying and it's not going to work. So once I shifted my identity, once I shifted how I see myself and embody that, you know what happened? The strategy just came through me. Like I was like, let's do this and this and this and yeah, done. Oh, that's a strategy. Oh, is it a strategy? Yeah. I just did it naturally. Like I just did it on autopilot. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just did it because my temperature was different. So it's all identity. There is no thought about you right now that is, you can say, this is me, like this is just me, because it wasn't on the birth certificate. If you're saying I'm a bit slow, can you show me your birth certificate? I want to see where it is. Did God or universe said, I'm sending this child and this person will be a bit slow. Here is the birth certificate to prove that. Have you got any stamp on you? It's going to be a bit slow. Then where is it? You think you're slow. That's why you're slow. I procrastinate so much. Is it on your birth certificate? Then where is it? It's in your identity. You think you procrastinate, so you procrastinate. I can't get anything right. I start things and I just finish them. and I can't finish them, or I finish them not properly. Like I feel like something is always stopping me from getting to the finish line. What is it? You think. Everything that you say about yourself, that's what you think you are. Every single thing. And this is the beautiful part, that you are perfect. You are a spiritual being. So, one of my clients, like he did this identity shift, and all of a sudden his business sales literally got exploded like within a week, really, really fast. And he started like having so many new clients, and everything is literally doubling up, tripling up. And he met one of his multimillionaire friends, and he said to him, like his friend said to him, what has happened to you? Like, what is happening in your life? And he said to him that I have just like, I'm working with this coach, and I've just become this person. Like, I've just become my truest self. And he was telling me that. And I said to him that when you were designing that, when you were designing your identity, you did it yourself. I gave you all the tools, but you did it yourself. So when you did it yourself, it means deep down, you know who you are. Deep down, your soul knows your truth. I didn't tell him anything the way he needs to be. Yes, what is fear? Fear is a way of your temperature showing up. Fear is that, right? Fear is the way of your temperature showing up and saying, don't do that, because you'll just bypass your temperature for attracting money. So don't do that thing. It's your nervous system, your temperature controlling you to make sure you're under the threshold. That's your capacity, your program, right? Everything that is stopping you is your program, okay? It's stopping you in different ways. It tells you all the stories. It tells you everything. I remember I had this belief that it will work for everybody, but not for me. Can you relate to that? Yeah. So you start to unlock your soul. Like, your soul knows who you are. You deep down know who you really are. And when I said that to him, he was like, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I didn't realize that. Yes. I knew all this time who I was, who I really was. So for a few seconds, he was like literally confident. He was like, yes, it was me. I knew it. Right? So the key is that once you rise in consciousness and shift your identity, your match, all of a sudden, that the thing that you're matched for increases. So with bottomless bank account, it's not about you force it. It's not about you're trying really hard to make it happen. You rise in consciousness and start to see yourself differently. A shift in perception. And you become a match for those frequencies. For whatever thing you want to call it, you increase your temperature. That is what bottomless bank account, that is what 100K months, that is what 50K months, everything that you want to call in, it works the same way. Now, what sometimes happen is that we set a manifestation, like I want to call in this number in my life. This is my goal card, or this is my number, right? And we try so hard to make it happen. Can you relate to that? Like on social media, people are sending you DMs and like, sign up with me and work with me, or this is my thing. Have you seen, like, there is so much like force involved. Like, so many coaches are contacting you like, have you signed up for this? Have you joined my group? Have you seen this? Like, you're like sick and tired of the DMs. You're like, what is it? Why do people do that? Why do people do that? Why do we force things? Why do we put resistance? Because when you're forcing something, oh, it's so funny. Me too. So when you're forcing something, when you're making it happen, instead of becoming a match by activating that version of you, you know what starts to happen? Why you do that? Because you have this fear of disappointment, that I know deep down that I'm not who I really am, and I'm calling this in, but I know that when I call this in, it's not going to happen, but I don't want to feel the pain, because when I was little and I felt the pain, it was so painful. So let me now go and take action and control the whole manifestation. And then what happened? You get blocked. Because you can't fight, you can't outperform your temperature. no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you try to not feel the disappointment. So the key in all of that is become a match, rise in consciousness, peel off those labels that were never yours in the first place, and activate, because that version exists within you right now. It's there. That client of mine, how did he know who he really was? I didn't, I gave him all the tools, but I didn't even tell him once who he really was. He designed it all. Like it took him literally a week and he designed it all. But how did he know who he really was? Because you know who you are. Once you use the right rules, when you start to use the right processes, you know who you are. You connect with your soul. And that's when, the biggest thing is not even the money. I used to think it's the money. It's not the money. It's becoming more of yourself, becoming who you really are. You know how freeing is that? When we get out of a prison that we didn't even know we were in one. You know how freeing is that? I get to be me. I get to be who I really am. That is the most freeing thing on this planet. We think money gives us freedom. Money doesn't give us the freedom. It's the freedom in being who we really are. Literally is that freedom, that feeling that I get to be me. And when I had this, I remember once I was making a coffee for myself and I was like, how did I not know who I was? Like, how did I forgot? How did I forget who I was? So the key in all of this is that you start to uncover who you really are and you activate that version of you. And then you're automatically on autopilot, you're a match. That means money comes in, things come in, whatever frequency you said that comes in. And this is the game. Once you understand the game, it's literally a game. Like the same client of mine, he said to me that attracting money is like a game. And for the first time, I worked with the coach who knows the rules of the game. So literally, it's a game. If you understand how it's played, it's so much fun. It is a game. So what I would love for you to do is I would love for you to write a love letter to money. So, you were saying, how do I uncover my blocks? Write a love letter to money. And when you say love letter, what do I mean? Love letter means that if you have, if you have a boyfriend or your girlfriend, and they come into your life like money is your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your partner or your loved one, and you have to tell them how you feel about them. Like imagine the money turns into a person, and you have to now almost like tell money how you really feel about money. So you can be negative, and the reason being because you want to uncover your blocks, right? So you are allowed to be negative. You are allowed to say how you really feel. Okay, you are allowed to really unpack your blocks and uncover your thoughts, and start from as far as you remember in your childhood. So when you were that little child and you wanted that and you couldn't have that, and you were so pissed off at money, or when you saw your parents fighting and you blamed when you were like, money, because of you, look at my parents, like they're fighting. You are the problem. You are the cause of all the problems in my life. Or because of money, somebody did something to you. Somebody exploited you. Somebody scammed you or somebody. So as far as you remember, the experiences with money that you still feel, that you still remember, write them in the love letter. And there are two things. First, write the experience, like saying, hello, money. I feel this way. You did this to me. Why did you do that to me? Why were you not there when I really wanted you? Why were you absent from my life? All this kind of things, right? And why, when I wanted those shoes, you couldn't get it, and my friends made fun of me, and I felt so embarrassed. So you see, like how you're really sharing how you felt. So really share how you felt and write the love letter as far as you can remember. Pissed off at money. Yes, pissed off at money. Exactly. Exactly, right? So write as far as you can remember to see where your blocks are with money. And that is one of the 5 tools that I use in my breakthrough method. That is one of the 5 tools, right? Whoever, all of you guys who are live and all of you guys who watch this, whoever write the letter, I'm going to do a draw. Okay. And we will choose one person for our $555 giveaway, where you will get access to one-to-one identity makeover session with me. So whatever letter you write money, I'm going to coach you on that letter. I'm going to review that letter. I'm going to coach you personally. And when I coach you personally, when I speak to you, I have done this with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So when I coach you personally, everything you say, I find your blocks. Everything you say. So that one session, I promise, is going to change your life. So whoever does this, your name will go in the draw. I'll pick it up and I'm going to review your letter with you. I'm going to coach you on every part of your letter. So you have got time till, let me just check, 2nd of July to do the letter. Okay, 2nd of July. And now the other thing what I really want to share with you. So when I was preparing this masterclass, right, I was like, this is really beautiful information. But what if I hold your hand and I take you through every part of peeling your identity, like every part of this, like step by step by step. So all my tools in the breakthrough method, I take you through them personally. But one of the thoughts that I had was that sometimes the program and the investments are quite high, and a lot of people cannot join them because it's like, I want to break through to financial freedom, and that's the reason I'm here. And I cannot, I cannot pay for the program. So I said, what if I create an offer which is really, really, really special, like which is literally a no-brainer, like you get intense value, where I hold your hand, I coach you step by step through every process of my breakthrough method, all my 5 steps, including that, the steps where you go through 3 sessions, and then there is a meditation where your body talks to you, and there are like 5 more steps along with that, every single step, and you do those steps and I coach you on that, right? What if I take you through that, but I make it so accessible that it's like it's a no-brainer? You're like, why would not I do that? Why would I not do that? So I thought, what if I make it so accessible that the only reason you don't want to do it is because you don't want money? Otherwise, you're like, hell yes, I'm in. This is so good. This is the greatest thing on the planet. So I wanted to make it that accessible to all of you guys, because this information has changed my life. This has changed so many of my clients' life, like 45K months, 50K months, in manifesting 16K in one day, landing their dream job. Even a lot of my clients who come to me, they're like, I don't even believe that it's going to work. And sometimes you don't even have to believe, you just do the process and it works. So it's like the moment you start getting in the room and you start doing the work, your belief just comes in and everything just starts ticking along. So what I said, what if I offer this to you at such an accessible price that it's a no-brainer, and I take you through 3 steps. So the first step is peeling off all the deep-seated identities, like all the deep-seated things which were in your identity for decades. Like you don't even know. Like when I did this, I had 92. Most of my clients went through them more than 100. Like most of the time, right? Yes. So all the people who are in Wealth Fountain, you guys get it. You guys don't have to think about it. Get it. You get it. Okay. So all the people who are not in Wealth Fountain, you have 2 options. The first one is that you can join Wealth Fountain, which is an incredible program. And in Wealth Fountain, you get, this is one of the shifts, one of the 5 shifts out of my wealth activation framework. You get access to all the shifts. I took you through one shift at a higher level. You get access to all of that. Wealth Fountain is 1,111 for 3 months, and you get lifetime access to the program. Now, this offer, for those who cannot join Wealth Fountain, I want to hold your hand and take you through this process where we peel off all your identities, all your labels, which you don't even know exist, because trust me, when you do this, there are so many. I was at that time studying with Bob Proctor for a long time, doing all my meditation, everything, and I had so many. I know that we all have so many. How do we peel them off in 1 week? Like really fast, really, really fast. It's literally the speed that you just peel them off. And I have a whole process for that called Breakthrough Method with all my tools. The second step, we will design your identity, who you really are. Like this client of mine said, like he knew who he is. So using those tools when you really connect with your soul. And the third step is to match that identity, embody that person, and match the frequency. So it's a 3-week program. Okay. It is going to be incredibly insane. It is literally, it is such a high intense value. Like, I mean, what you're getting for what I'm offering, it's literally gold. And I wish I could tell you how powerful this work is, how powerful this work is. This is literally life-changing, right? So I'm gonna just share with you the page, because that's where I'm gonna share the investment, and it will just blow your mind and you'll be like, wow, this is a no-brainer. I really wanted to make it super accessible for all of us. Super, super, super accessible. So it is called the Bottomless Bank Account, where you get my breakthrough method for $1,000, which is what value $1,000, the science of wealth activation framework, and high proximity. So I will coach you twice a week for 3 weeks, twice a week, live coaching for 3 weeks. Okay. And this is literally all for 94% discount at 222. Like, this is literally insane value. Like, 222, you get this, and it's 94% discount. The total value of this program, like if I sell it without, all of it, not in a package, I can easily charge 3,700. This is the investment for that. But just for you guys, because my pure intention and my pure desire and my pure place is that I would love for you to go through this, because you have no idea how transformational it is. Like, I want to take you to the finish line. I want to hold your hand and take you through this. I want to coach you on this. This is the biggest gift that you can give to yourself, because this is huge. This work is so powerful. I wish I could show you how transformational this can be for you. Like, I have seen my clients going from nowhere, like doubting, being in the worst places in their life, to breaking through to financial freedom in all sorts of ways, manifesting their dream home, manifesting dream businesses, setting different frequencies and cracking them. Like, this literally is so, so powerful. And I wanted, on purpose, like, really make it accessible, so that if you desire this, it's your right, it's our birthright to be able to have access to abundance. That's why it's my obligation to give you access to this at this price. And that's why I'm doing this, because I really want to help you help yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the link in the chat. 1 second. So it's called Bless Account, so Bottomless Account. That is the chat. I'm going to just quickly check that the link I've typed correctly. This is the link. And if you saying, you know what, I want to get access to all 5 shifts, I see experience ones, it says blown my mind, then I'm also giving you access to a link to Wealth Fountain. So the deadline, because we are starting the Bottomless Bank Account on 3rd of July. So I would love for you to join us in this and literally crack the code. We will literally crack the code together. First week, we are going to peel off all the identities. I'm going to show you how to do it really fast. Let's collapse time, guys. Like, you don't need years of therapy. You don't need years of healing. Let's do it fast, because the only limited resource, which you cannot even buy for $1 trillion, is 1 second of your time. Like, it's so precious. Let's collapse time with that. I've done it with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. The second thing that we'll do is we'll redesign who you really are, which you know who you really are, your truest version. And the third thing is matching the frequency, operating on that frequency, embodying that identity. It's a 3-week program. Where do we send the letter to? You can post the letter in Become a Match Facebook group if you are in that. If you're not, I'm going to quickly send you I'm going to quickly share my email address, support@anamhaya.com. Okay. And I'm going to repeat the homework as well. The homework is that you have to write a love letter to money, uncovering all the things that happen. You can go as negative as you want, because we really want to uncover. So don't say, oh, I shouldn't say that. Awareness is everything. So you uncover that. You send me the letter, or you put it in the group if you're comfortable. If you're not, you can send it to me personally. And for one person, I'm going to coach you. And that coaching session, 1-to-1, will change your life. And if you join Wealth Fountain as well, I offer 1-to-1 coaching session. So if you join Wealth Fountain, then you will do all my tools in the breakthrough method, and then I will do a 1-to-1 coaching session. And the bonuses with Wealth Fountain are 10K worth. Like, literally, if you see the bonuses, you add them up, they're 10K worth. They're incredible bonuses. If you join that, you also get 1-to-1 session with me, where I coach you personally 1-to-1 on your letter and all other money tools. But I really wanted to make Bottomless Bank Account very, very accessible for you, so that you can, so that it's like, yes, if I want it, you can have it. It's your birthright. It should be accessible. And imagine that time in your life when every time you spend money, money comes in. Like, it is such a beautiful feeling. It's a state of being. It becomes who you are. It's not what you try, what you do, what you force. It's who you are. So a 222 offer, it's in dollars, by the way, Emma, and it's gonna be also till 2nd of July. And the whole reason is because I'm starting 3rd of July. We are doing Bottomless Bank Account. Like, we are getting in it, right? Wealth Fountain, folks. We are getting in the Bottomless Bank Account. So I just feel like I wish I had this information. Like, I wish this is the first thing we're taught in schools. Like, let's crack the wealth code. Like, this is the code, guys. Like, this is the code, right? And it works really fast. I've seen people literally shifting and manifesting great wealth within weeks, to the point even their friends are like, what is going on? I remember one of my other clients who tripled her salary within, I think, 1.5 months, and her friends were like, this can't be true. This is crazy. So it is so powerful. And I wanted to really make it accessible. We were doing this in Wealth Fountain anyway, but I was like, it's a sin to know this and not to make it accessible. That's why I wanted to do that. And that's why I had this huge desire to the Bottomless. So you will have time till 2nd of July to get it, so that you can get in the room with us on 3rd, and then we will have it for 3 weeks. I'll coach you twice a week, and you will have access to my frameworks and all those things. And it is the greatest gift you can give yourself, literally, because it's your birthright, and it's $222. So it's really, really accessible, and it's incredible. It is. I wish, like, because one of the other things what I find is that in manifestation space, everybody's talking about success and this and that, but hardly anybody really talks about money. So let's talk money. Until you talk about money, you can't manifest money. So if you find somebody who is constantly talking about other things, but they don't really talk about money, then do they really have money? So let's talk money. Let's get down to the code. This is the code. Let's crack it together. I want to hold your hand. I want to do it with you. And it is literally such an intense value that you'll do a huge favor to yourself by getting in the room. Ah, that is interesting, Emma. If you avoid talking about it, what does it mean? You need to change that. And affirmations won't change that. Okay, so you have got access to both the pages. But after 2nd July, midnight Eastern, you won't be able to do that. Hey, I love that. Oh my God, Ali. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see you there. Okay, perfect. So the replay will be available. Send me the letter. One person will get one-to-one coaching on the letter. If you join Wealth Fountain, you are in for one-to-one anyway. And Wealth Fountain is gold. It's gold. That's the program that came through me. And it's going to last beyond me. And I know that. It's such a beautiful program. So I'm so excited. And again, no matter what you do, I just want you to remember one thing, that lack is a lie. And let's just undo the lie. You're sending the letter on, you can put in the Become a Match group. Okay, if you want, if you're comfortable. Some people are not comfortable putting their letter, then you can send it to me at support@anamhaya.com. Either way is fine, as long as it's somewhere, like it's in the thing or it's in the, yeah. And if you have any question, you can reach me on DM, okay? And I'm always here. And I wish you lots and lots of money and lots and lots of millions, because that's what you're really the match for once you start to see who you really are. Okay, perfect. And I will see you soon. Before we finish, I also want to do one thing, which I'm going to stop the recording now.